Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit chopped up. I forgot to put in a little introduction. My name is Daniel Morris. I am up here in Alaska fighting for the rights of people, and I'm fighting for our fisheries too. It's been a fight. This case is bad. They are illegally indicting people and charging people down in Ketchikan, Alaska. They were doing it. This case happened back in 2020 during COVID. This case, if it's reviewed by the right people and we stand up for it, can ultimately get innocent people out of jail. Everything about this case is the total opposite of what we value here in Alaska. We value our fisheries. We value our creeks. We value our stewardships, and we value our conservation. This outfitter, Stephen Kirkland, has probably got to be the worst example of an outfitter. You know, he had a job as an outfitter, he had a job as a camp host, and he had a job as a volunteer firefighter. And the only thing he could do was whatever he wanted to do and not his actual job. You know, what he stands for just embarrassed the forest department, embarrassed volunteer firefighters up here in Alaska, and embarrassed outfitters. And the judges did too. The judges told me that the community wants to see me punished, and I do not understand their culture. Well, if they're going to sit down to talk to jury members to make somebody guilty, then no, I don't want to understand that culture. If they're going to leave their trash rafts in creeks that are meant specifically for spawning salmon, no, I don't want to know that culture, you know. And if they're going to lie as to get somebody charged, no, I don't want to know that culture. You know what I'm saying? We need the culture of Alaska to stand up, you know. This is really going on right now. You guys stay blessed. My prayers is for Ketchikan. My prayers is for our fisheries. I'm a commercial fisherman, amongst a lot of things. I'm a dog trainer, commercial fisherman. I got a lot going on. And so stand with me. Stand for Ketchikan. Stand for our fisheries. Stand against this trash, you know. And I forgot to add that the patrol officer captain, we can now separate him out from perjury, and it goes from Judge Pate, Judge Stevens, to Special Prosecution John Darnall, to Tim McKillicuddy prosecution, to Denise Wolven, and to Penny Richardson, who were Stephen Kirkland's bosses. They're the ones that approved of it. They're the ones that allowed him for 2 years to be the only one to store his raft in the creek during the summer months, obviously, to do his outfitting and whatever, you know. He testified he didn't want anybody to touch it, anybody use it. It was there for his own personal use only. Nobody else can put their rafts in the creek. Patrol Captain Elsner said, you let one raft in the creek like that, everybody's going to want to put their raft in that creek, and he doesn't want to see that habitat for salmon be destroyed. He said there's the river right there where you can use rafts and stuff in. Not that size, but as for that creek, that's off limits. He says he doesn't even want people walking in there, but if they're being respectful and taking care of the environment, he said he'll allow people to walk up the creek and look at it, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy it. So anyways, y'all stay blessed. This is for Alaska, American black sheep, you know what I'm saying. Alright, so I'm putting this video out before Christmas. I'm gonna redo it after Christmas, but for right now, this guy Stephen Kirkland and this other guy Brent Oliver. Stephen Kirkland is an outfitter we don't want up here in Alaska. This guy came up here to Alaska from Mississippi. He started volunteering, got the firefighter volunteer job so he could put his rafts wherever he wanted for his outfitting and sustenance living up here. He got the Signal Creek campground camp host job and was been working in camp as camp host in Ketchikan, not to be the camp host, but to use that for his outfitting and his own stuff. You know what I'm saying? What happened was he got involved with the prosecution and did an illegal setup. I got illegally indicted for theft. This guy stored his raft in a federally protected creek for spawning salmon. Trashed. Just this raft is trashed out and everything like that. I will put the raft up at the end of the video so you guys can see what it looks like. But this is in Signal Creek, which is federally protected. I have had conversations with the captain, patrol officer captain. He said, yeah, nothing is supposed to be in there. And the only reason why this indictment happened is because of the special prosecution and prosecutor Tim McKillicuddy. And they just pretty much embarrassed the whole town. Tim McKillicuddy is no longer a prosecutor in Ketchikan because of this kind of evidence that's in this case. He quit his job. Yeah, he's a coward. And so what happened, what this video is about right here, is the patrol officer captain never went down and got the statement. The statement was prefabricated, and the patrol officer captain testified that he never went down to the campground. Well, I found in the evidence that there was another person, a camper, a witness, and the witness, the camper, was Stephen Kirkland's best friend, Brent Oliver. That was also in on the setup, you know what I'm saying? And so this contradicts the first report. I mean, it's all stupid. They're acting like two kids lying, you know what I'm saying? Stephen Kirkland testified in trial that he, the previous year, stored his raft in that creek for the full season. Like it was nothing, like it's okay. And it's his job, it was his job to protect that creek, you know what I'm saying? This is why we're losing our fisheries, is because of people like this, you know what I'm saying? Then he took it to court, to trial, told the jury that he stored it in the creek so he can paddle out on the lake every morning and every evening with his dog to drink beer and talk on the phone. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even for emergency purposes, you know, to drink beer and talk on the phone, you know. Yeah, and so they played it out like it was okay, it's allowed to do. We need to stand up against this. You know, I want to get this guy's name out there for all the outfitters, everything like that. We don't want this guy outfitting. This guy will take you to trial. This guy will lie about his stuff, take you to trial. Then he'll sit down and have lunch with jury members. I have the video of this guy sitting down and eating lunch during trial with jury members to make sure I get a guilty verdict. Like, this guy is trash. Not only is he trash, he's not the brightest person. He testified that he had his raft registered up here in Alaska. He shipped it down to Mississippi, painted it in Mississippi, then shipped it back up here to Alaska. And that's why he didn't have registration on it. Right? Think about that one. Then he testified that he had 3 of the same model rafts, right? Yeah. And when you listen to this guy, so what happened is the patrol officer, Captain Elsner, Tim McKillicuddy, the prosecutor, set this up and what it did is it made the patrol officer captain, it proved that he didn't go down, that the statement was pre-made, and that the captain didn't go down to the campground to make the statement, that the prosecution made the statement. I also found the evidence some errors, a lot of errors in the evidence actually, but this separates the patrol officer from editing the evidence, everything like that, and puts everything on the prosecution. And so what I'm able to do, I went pro se representing myself, and they told me I had to investigate the case myself, everything like that, and I found everybody that was involved, and I was able to separate the patrol officer captain out of the whole thing. He was, because of the way authorities work, especially under special prosecution, and stuff like that, and prosecution, like he can, there's nothing he can do, really, but go along with the investigations and what they want to do. And what they did was they embarrassed him and his integrity as a Forest Service officer in court, open court. Like, this guy openly admitted for breaking so many federal U.S. Forest Service federal laws, like crazy. It's a 24-hour. No, it's a day use only area. Like, and he stored his raft in a protected scenic place where you're supposed to like enjoy the view and stuff. So, you know how you're walking down a U.S. Forest Service trail and you see this little kiosk that explains the tree. You know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to enjoy the tree. That tree's a protected tree right there. And so what he did was put his raft like up against the tree. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can look at the tree, but look at his dirty raft too. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the camp host. He can do that. Like, trash. And the amount, I'm not gonna say anymore. But if you listen to this, then you can, how stupid it is. Then you can listen. What happened is the captain went to the patrol office, the Alaska State Troopers, to get Stephen Kirkland's statement. Then the patrol officer drove back to the courthouse, probably to the prosecution's office, to get Stephen Kirkland's friend's Brent Oliver's statement, right? And that's what the phone call. But that, where the AST is halfway on the island. So that gave Stephen Kirkland time to drive to his friend's house, Brent Oliver's, who lives at the other end of the island, homesteads there, set up. And while Elsner was driving back to the courthouse, they arrived probably around the same time. And it shows on the metadata for the time and date and stuff like that. And so when you listen to Brent Oliver's statement, you can hear Stephen Kirkland in the background talking to him about me on a bicycle ride, because I did try to go say sorry to him. It's about the whole misunderstanding, but I told him, I said, you don't leave stuff in the creek like that. That stuff gets impounded and everything else like that. Tim McKillicuddy was trying to put me in prison, and so he was trying to cover up the fact that I went and tried to handle this with Stephen Kirkland. Patrol Officer Captain Elsner actually told me it was the camp host. You know what I'm saying? He said he doesn't know when he's there, but if you want to go talk to him, it's the camp host of the campground. And he kind of said it in a way like, yeah, like it, and so then I went and talked to another forest officer. She gave me the time and dates that he was there. He was only there 2 days a week. And I saw him on a Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? That's a day you can remember. And I chose a particular day as a day that he could remember. Simple as that. It's Father's Day. Well, listen to Brent Oliver talk. Well, it was maybe like 2 weeks. It was Father's Day. Like, how could you forget? And I know what was said in that parking lot. Everything like that. And I still have documentation of all that kind of stuff. And what happened is when I went to trial, they found me guilty, and in sentencing, the judge said, since I didn't make any attempts to even go apologize to Stephen Kirkland, that they're going to extend my sentencing. You know what I'm saying? And so my case is in appeal right now. We need to stand up for Alaska. We need to stand up against these people. It's not ever okay to lie in court. You know what I'm saying? To pass the buck off. Like, who does that? Yeah, it gets even worse, but here it is. The interviews with Stephen Kirkland and Brent Oliver.
So last year when the raft was removed from the campground, who told you about it? Was it
Brent? Oh no, we found it. So I went over, I walked over, and it was gone.
Okay. There you go. Okay, so you saw it first.
Brent was over at the campsite with me, and I said, hey, it just started raining. I need to go flip my boat over before it fills up with water.
Okay. So he didn't witness it being removed. Okay. He was just witnessed the fact that
he saw that it was there before he went to go make a phone call. And then when he came back, I was there, and then we walked over there. That's how we knew kind of the window that we thought that the boat had disappeared in that window, because he had seen it on the way to go make a phone call. And then when he came back, he was talking to me. We walked over to go secure it from the rain, and it was gone.
Okay. What's Brent's last name?
Oliver.
Okay. Do you have his phone number?
Yep. Let's see what I did there. Sorry. I opened it up in the text message.
Alright. Just wanted to... The DA would just want to clarify some details on the...
McGillicuddy told me. He said, told me not to text you. So.
Okay.
And then my Aaron...
Anything related to that?
Yes.
Okay.
Aaron from the state parks, Aaron Osby, he just messaged me and said that he's trying to get his boss's information to you.
Just related to?
They said that somebody said they needed to talk to Aaron's State Parks of Alaska boss about this whole thing. And okay. I already sent him your contact information. I hope that's okay. I didn't text you.
No, that's
because
fine.
McGillicuddy told me not to be texting back and forth.
All right.
So that's what I do with that.
That's all I need.
Cool. Something else?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's...
This is Brent.
Hi, is this Brent Oliver?
Hello?
Hello?
It is.
Hi, my name's Bill. Hi, my name's Bill Elsner. I'm a law enforcement officer with the Forest Service. I just got to ask you a couple questions about theft that happened last year in Signal Creek. You were with Steve Kirkland.
Yeah, you're talking about his little inflatable boat.
Yep. I just need to...
Yeah.
Just got a couple quick questions. You got a few minutes?
Yeah, and I apologize. This is over a HughesNet satellite connection, so the phone sometimes cuts out a little bit. We're getting ready to have crab in a little bit, son. Let's hold off. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, I will try and answer whatever I can for you.
I just need to check the timeline. Did you actually witness the theft, or you were just with Steve? You knew where the raft was, and then you knew when the raft was missing? Is that correct?
Did not see the actual theft, no. So I know, obviously I'd seen where he had kept it for quite a bit, and then, boy, I'm trying to remember, and again, this is a year ago now.
Yep, over.
I'm trying to remember exactly what that was. I know that, I could see the tracks where someone had gone from the road down to where he kept it and had drug it up. You could see the drag marks and the footprints where someone had, drug it up to the road. So it wasn't like it floated off and they found it out on Ward Lake there.
Yep.
Or anything. Someone had definitely, drug it up to the road. You could see that. And then later, the guy who took it actually spoke with me and was basically like, why is your friend being a jerk? He got his boat back. Why doesn't he just let it go? Type of thing. So he was kind of being a jerk himself, for sure.
Okay. How long after the incident was that?
Boy, it's been so long. I'm thinking a week, 10 days, something like that.
Okay.
Again, it's been a long time, so I couldn't say for sure 2 weeks, but it wasn't a huge amount of time. Because I was only there until July when I moved to my property.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else you remember that I think I should know?
I mean, not that I can really think of. Certainly, you could definitely tell that, because where he kept it was, you could see it from the road.
Yep.
Going through the road going through the campground. But someone, like I say, someone had to go down alongside the culvert and then alongside the culvert, which was kind of a pain in the ass to do because I went and walked down that.
Yep.
So it was not something someone did with 30 seconds. I mean, you're looking at, it would have taken anybody 2-3 minutes to drag that thing up to the road and make off with it.
Okay. Well, that's...
So, yeah.
I think all I really need to just confirm is whether or not you actually witnessed it, but, so what was the... do you remember if you saw it that day before it was removed?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It was, when I saw it gone was within a couple of hours of when Steve had last used it.
Okay. I don't have any more questions for you. I appreciate your time, though.
No problem.
Okay, you have a good day, sir.
All right.